The hospital called me. Said there was a man there who wanted to talk to me. Oh, sorry. I don't sleep good. There was a man there who wanted to talk to me, and I'd never heard of him before. Never heard the name before. But they said that he'd heard me tell stories at a library and wanted to talk to me. So I went. When I walked into the room, he sat up on his bed straight, indicated for me to take a seat. And then he began to talk like a man confessing his sins to a priest. He told me a story. The first time I saw it, he said, I was camping with my boys. I heard a rustle outside of the tent, so I grabbed my flashlight and undid the flap. And there it was, sitting by the fire pit. At first I didn't know what it was. It could have been a large hairless dog or a naked man. Either way, it looked like it had been hit by a truck. When I shined my light on it, it turned and looked at me with those eyes. Those empty, dark, soulless eyes. Fear entered my heart. Fear like I'd never felt before. I began to speak, but he held up his hand and said, wait, let me finish. The next time I saw it, it was in my bedroom. My bedroom. I woke to this high-pitched howl in my ears or a scream of pain. And when I looked, it was sitting on the foot of my bed. It turned and looked at me with those empty eyes. And I knew I would never be rid of this thing. I began to wonder what this man was in the hospital for. Was he there with a mental condition? Was he on some sort of medication? But he reached up and he grabbed my hand and brought me back into the story. Night after night after night, I wake to see his face, those eyes. It doesn't matter where I go. Doesn't matter where I'm at. If I'm at home, or if I'm camping, or if I'm in a motel, or if I'm sleeping in my car, it's there. When I wake, staring at me with those eyes. And I hear that howl in my ears. One night, I heard his voice in my head. He told me he was the rake. I'd heard the rake before. I'm a storyteller. I'd researched the rake. He's an internet urban legend. My sons are dead. Quickly, I was paying attention again. My oldest boy died at camp. His leaders told me that he was screaming in the night in his tent, kicking at the sides. And when they finally got the flap open, he was dead. His eyes were open in fear. But he was dead. My younger boy died in my arms. I awoke to his screams, and I knew him. And I ran to his room. And when I got there, I saw it sitting on the windowsill, looking at me with those eyes. It bared its teeth at me and jumped from the window. My boy was on the side of the bed. I ran and I picked him up. I tried to stop the bleeding. But he just looked at me and said, said, Daddy, it was the rake. Night after night, I see it. It never leaves me alone. Why? I said, why are you telling me this? Why are you telling me? So you can warn them. You tell stories, you can warn them. You can tell them that the rake is real. That it's out there. It's waiting. I went home. I didn't know what to do with this. A couple days later, the hospital called again. They told me the man was dead. He killed himself in the night. But they found on his bedside table a note addressed to me. It says, remember to warn them. I can't sleep. I won't sleep because what I'll see. I can't wake up. I can't see it again. I have seen those eyes enough. So I'll make sure I won't wake up. Before I die tonight, I will pray for you. Last night, he said your name. Like I said, I sleep good.